Please stand if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, Olympians. Welcome back to the Columbus East Media Studios for this week's announcements. I'm your host, Aiden Nesci, and let's jump into today's announcements. Meetings for student government will be held every Wednesday in the Orange Room. This group is different than Student Assembly and is focused on giving students opportunities to work alongside administrators. Student government allows students to have more of a say in the development and future of East. If you have any questions, you can contact Mr. Lynott, Henry Ulrich, or Bo Crow. Yesterday was this month's e-ticket drawing. The student winner was Ben Likens, and the teacher was Mrs. Fields. Come on down to the office to claim your prize. This week, Key Club is selling candy grams for $1 by the office during both lunch mods. They will be delivered next week. This Friday, February 10th, is the final day to sign up for the Culture and Service trip to the Dominican Republic. Enrollment is first come, first serve. If you have any questions, email Mrs. Sullivan. The World Language and MLL Department are hosting a culture fair this Friday from 8:15 to 2:30. Students are invited to explore all the countries and cultures in attendance. If you're interested in being a baseball manager or helping out the program this season, see Coach Gratz in room C216. The Zach MAGO Foundation will be hosting heart screenings here East on February 24th. Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death among athletes, and getting a heart screening can help detect undiagnosed heart diseases. A normal screening can cost upwards of $600. However, they will only cost $20 during the event. You can go to zachmagofoundation.com to sign up. The Columbus East women's tennis team will be having their call-out meetings next Wednesday, February 15th. The meeting will take place after school in the Commons. Check It's Learning for more details. Please join Jamal Starks with his signing this Thursday after school in the Commons. He will be signed to play football at University of Indianapolis. Connor Hanna's senior project, a jazz combo entitled The Caffinated Cabaret, will be hosted here at East on February 14th at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Admission will be $5, and all proceeds will go to buy new equipment for the East Band Department. After over a decade of service to East as a teacher, department chair, and principal, Mark Newell has accepted a new position elsewhere and will be leaving at the end of the school year.
It was a really hard decision to make. You know, I've been here for 15 years, came here as math department chair 19 years ago on that, but just been feeling restless of late, wondering what's going to be the next step. Probably compare it to when I'd been in the classroom, the math classroom for 10 years at North, and just started feeling restless. What's the next step? And that's when I did math department chair on that. And so this just came about 2.5 weeks ago, this opening at McDowell on that, and that sounded really interesting. Get a chance to work with students and work with adults. I think it goes back to relationships with the staff and the students all have, and that ability to work with the students here as young adults. I really appreciate that part of it. And, you know, just continue to keep that theme of caring for every student comes through as an individual and value them, and each student's success looks unique and special to them, and just to take care and carry on those.
We here at East Media would like to wish Mr. Newell luck in his new endeavors. And now, over to Drew Cordry with our upcoming 3-day forecast.
We'll be looking at pretty nice weather, with today having a high of 51 and a low of 33, with a 40% chance of rain, and wind speeds at 6 miles per hour. For tomorrow, we'll be looking at a high of 59 and a low of 39. It will be raining in the morning, so be sure to be careful if you're driving. And for Friday, there will be a high of 47 and a low of 33, with a 40% chance of rain, with wind speeds at 7 miles per hour. Now, over to Matthew Degner with the Matthew Minute.
To this week's edition of the Matthew Minute, where news topics are presented in a brief format. I'm your host, Matthew Degner, and we're starting off discussing earthquakes. On Monday, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake devastated large regions of Turkey and Syria. With the death toll passing 5,000 people and over 20,000 reported injuries by Tuesday morning, that number is still climbing. The quake primarily has affected regions of the Middle East that were previously financially strained, and this disaster will leave tens of thousands of people displaced or homeless. In U.S. news, the infamous Chinese balloon, which was shot down on Saturday, has now been reported to have not been the first of its type, with a senior member of the Biden administration having reported that other balloons have flown over the continental U.S., at least once throughout Biden's years in office, and at least 3 times by the end of President Trump's term. While the U.S. military does not regularly have the authority to do reconnaissance within the U.S. borders, special permissions were granted for this international incident. In Indiana news, 2 officers were shot in Mitchell, Indiana, in a firefight with a drug dealer. The suspect, Anthony Richmond, was killed in this engagement, and the officers are in, quote, serious but stable condition. The incident began as a regular traffic stop, but quickly escalated. And the Indiana State Police have reported that Mr. Richmond resisted arrest and eventually ended up firing several rounds at close range to the officers. Thankfully, both officers should recover from their wounds. In local news, last Thursday after a basketball game, a Columbus East senior was arrested after he threatened other students with a gun and attempted to enter their car. The driver of the car was able to escape and avoided any physical harm, but the suspect left the scene and was later arrested at his residence, with a firearm being seized as evidence. He was placed in county jail on charges of criminal confinement, intimidation with a deadly weapon, and possession of a firearm on school property, and is being held on a $117,500 bond, which was later paid. That wraps up this week's top stories. Thank you for joining me. Signing off, I'm Matthew Degner, and remember to stay informed.
Thanks, Matthew. And now to Corey Shooter with sports.
Thanks, Aiden. The games we've got coming up this week are boys JV basketball versus Jennings County on Friday. It's at 6 over at Jennings County High School. After the game, varsity plays against them as well at 7:30. Then on Saturday, we have varsity swim competing at IUPUI Natatorium starting at 9 a.m. East Varsity Wrestling is going to be competing in the semi-state at the Ford Center in Evansville. That also starts at 9 a.m. Good luck, O's! Now on to congratulations with the wins we've had this week. East Varsity Wrestling has become the regional champions for 7 years straight now, with the win this past Saturday. Winning all 3 of his matches and securing first in the 106 bracket was Talon Jessup. Jackson Fox, Tommy Morrill, and Patrick McMahon all placed first in their respective brackets. We also had 1 runner-up with 4 third-place finishers. All 10 wrestlers will advance to semi-state. You can come send the team off in the student parking lot at 11:45 a.m. this Thursday. After the swim meet last Saturday, Gabby Meyer became the 2023 sectional champion in diving, and overall we placed 5th with 207 points. Congrats to all of our Olympian athletes, and good luck to those competing in the coming week. Moving on to our performing arts, on Saturday our choir competed in Fishers. The East All-Girls Show Choir, Siren Serenade, won first place in their division. The East Combined Show Choir, Center Stage, placed in 3rd in their division. Also on Saturday, our Bend members competed in district-level ISMA solo and ensemble competition here at East. We had 16 soloists and 1 ensemble make it to state. Band members advancing to state include 16 students. As well, Cooper Hopkins and Monica Santana both achieved perfect scores on their solos. Good job, O's. And that's all we have, and back to you, Aiden.
And that's all we have for today. From myself, Corey, Drew, Matthew, and the rest of East Media, thanks for watching. Remember to take care of yourself, others in the place, and as always, try to be the best part of someone's day.